What's up, everybody? Man, back. Welcome to a brand new video. Today we're going to be doing another Godzilla unboxing video. So in the background, where is it? Right there. I've had that big pile of boxes. It's been growing steadily over the course of the past year and a half, and I want it gone because, and I know by the time this video comes out, it'll be well in the past, but where I'm sitting right now, later this week, I'm going to be recording a podcast with Chelsea, the host of the Dead Meat podcast, and I am so nervous. Like, don't get me wrong, I've done some cool stuff in the past, but this one has me terrified. I just saw a clip from their most recent podcast episode that they uploaded, and at the end they mentioned that they're gonna have a special guest on for the Godzilla episode, and my heart is just pumping. And I want that gone because I want my room to be a little more presentable when I'm on there, you know, a little bit. Not that I can do much, but a little bit. I don't have a closet door still. So hey, we're gonna do some unboxings. I genuinely have no idea what's in this box. I know that it's a NECA figure. I don't know what it is. You guys know from the title, but we're gonna pop this box open, find out who I'm unboxing today, and we'll do a quick little review for it. Keep the suspense up. I think, here's my guess, I think that it's Godzilla 1989. That'd be my guess. Okay, welcome back to another Godzilla King of the Monsters unboxing video. I didn't remember they made this. I completely spaced that this was a figure. I totally forgot this thing existed, but hey, I guess we're unboxing the NECA blue version of Mothra. Do they have a special name for it? Was this the poster version or what? I don't know. As far as the NECA boxes goes, this one's perfectly in line with the other NECA boxes. You've got the figure display on the back, the little character profiles here. You've got the plot description on the side here, and your little stats on the side here. What is it? 12.5 wing measurement, articulated wings, includes display base. So there you go. We know what it is. I've unboxed this figure before. I'm actually glad, you know, that I've unboxed it before because it'll give us the ability to review it quicker. So there you go. You got a picture of Mothra flying on her little display beam here with, of course, the little base here. In the box, you have Mothra and the background all fiery for some reason, and then the little cocoon. Why is the background fire? Shouldn't it be like a waterfall? I should also mention, as I do every time I do a NECA unboxing, that this video is brought to you by NECA. Every time I review a NECA figure, it's because they sent it to me. So I get to review these because of them. So thank you guys over at NECA. You guys had a great run with the Godzilla license. Only got better over time. Lately, you've always been killing it. So I have nothing but positive things to say about my time working with NECA. They've been great. They've absolutely been great. So inside, you got this like weird destroyed city set with a downed Osprey and just fire everywhere. Again, it's kind of like a weird backdrop for Mothra. You'd think that it should be a waterfall, but it's like a cool Godzilla background. I don't know how good of a Mothra background it is. This whole time, man, I'm telling you, I'm taking this thing out of the box. This whole time, my brain's just racing a million miles an hour. I'm so nervous about doing this podcast. It's terrifying. Okay, here we go. We've got Mothra's cocoon, you know, the good old Monarch base here, and then the cocoon coming out here. I should have gotten the other one out for comparison. I didn't remember that this existed. I forgot that this was a figure. I think this cocoon is much more blue than it was initially. It's got this like metallic blue feel, kind of like a fly a little bit, kind of like the skin of a fly or whatever you call it, the color of a fly. It's kind of what it looks like a blue bottle. Is that what they're called? Blue bottle fly, something like that. I don't know. It's kind of got that kind of feel to it, very alien-esque as well. I really like the cocoon design, and if you remember my original review, I thought this base was awesome. I love the base. I think it's fantastic. I've got this little clear rod that you stick in there so that you can put Mothra on it and she can sit down so that she can look like she's flying in her display. I will say that in retrospect, upon having the other Mothra figure to be able to review, she doesn't sit on the base very well, at least my other one. Both Mothra and Rodan, they both really like to fall off their base. Rodan's base sits at an angle. It's kind of like crooked, so he just constantly like tipping and teetering on that thing. Mothra doesn't sit very well on hers either. You can kind of get the figure on there, here, but like it's not gonna sit very well balanced. I know the wings are up, so it won't be great, but they're supposed to sit kind of like this with the wings down. She's not very well balanced on it. She typically teeters, and a lot of the time she's close to falling off. She has fallen a couple times. But here's the Mothra figure. When they say they have articulated wings, that means the wings go down like this, and that's all the wings, so all 4 of them. The 2 main wings and then the 2 little wings here on the bottom. This Mothra figure is a little more stiff than my other one. I will also note that you guys know, if you've watched a lot of my unboxings, I typically prefer to have the standard coloration of the character. So for instance, for Godzilla, I typically prefer my Godzilla figures to have normal dorsal fins rather than blue dorsal fins because I like them a little more normal. With Mothra, she might be the exception for King of the Monsters because she is only orange for like 2 shots in that movie. She is always blue in Godzilla King of the Monsters. So I would prefer the blue Mothra. I think that this is a more accurate representation of the version of the character we get in Godzilla King of the Monsters. So I'm happy that they made this. I don't know if Monster Arts made one, but I don't think they did, but they should. So there you go. Yeah, that's basically all you can do with her is flap the wings. They do feel very fragile. They feel like they're gonna snap easily, so I'm not gonna poke and prod them too much. It overall is the same figure, you know. There's some articulation here where you can kick the legs out and move the arms and the pinchers and whatnot, which is good. I like that a lot. The sculpt itself is really well detailed. There's actually a lot of intricate detailing in the sculpt. Specifically, it's really impressive when you take into consideration just how small she is. She's very small. You can also see that the eyes are painted, they have pupils, and they look pretty good. And there's a good texturing throughout the wings as well. I like that they're not just pieces of plastic, that they feel like they have texture, they look like they have texture. It's very impressive when you see the little nitty-gritties. It actually looks a little better on camera way up close than it does in person. There's a lot of cool detailing in here. Overall, I'm not terribly impressed with this figure because outside of the fact that it's now blue, there isn't a ton different with it. There's also some paint splotches on mine, such as here, some black paint splotches that detract from it. The paint job feels a little more sloppy than it did on the original. She's just pure blue here in the center. There's not tons of detailing with it. Like I said, I do like the eyes, but there's not tons of detailing. There is some black shading throughout that adds some depth to her, which I do appreciate. But overall, I don't know if it's just the fact that this is a repaint or if this is just a less intricate paint job than the first one, but this one doesn't stand out to me as much as the first one did. The blue does look cool. Like I said, I would prefer to have the blue one than the orange and yellow one, but overall, I don't know, I'm not terribly impressed with this because it is a repaint and it just looks very one-toned overall, especially far back. Like, it looks very one-tone, not necessarily, not technically. You get what I'm saying. It's super blue all the way throughout, and it's not a very rich blue. It's not very well detailed. There's not different shades of blue going on. There's just like one dark blue in the body, one blue on the wings, and the black. And again, it's fairly accurate to what we see in the movie, but I think they could have done a little more with it to put some different blue highlights in there so that it doesn't feel like just a big chunk of blue. I don't know if what I'm trying to say is making a ton of sense here. They could have used whites to create better highlights on it as well. The like knife position, right? Like a knife Mothra. Overall, I have generally the same thoughts on this as I did the first time, I think. Pretty good for what it is. Not much more you could do with a Mothra figure, at least not that I can think of. I like the articulation that they added. She is very small, so they couldn't add a lot. I like the detailing that they put in there for the figure. The texturing looks great, especially up close. It's really good stuff. Very impressive what they did with it. The paint job leaves something to be desired, but I do appreciate the fact that this is a blue version of Mothra rather than a standard version of Mothra because it's a little more accurate to what we got in Godzilla King of the Monsters. The display base is fantastic, looks great, but it is hard to get her to stand on it and sit properly. Overall, I'm gonna give this figure a 7 out of 10. I don't remember what I gave the original, but I'm gonna give this version a 7 out of 10. It is a repaint, so it's not blowing me away or anything like that. I basically already have this figure, so, you know, I think repaint should be a little more extravagant and flashy and awesome than the original. And this one's certainly different than the original. It does justify the need for this to exist. I will say that at the very least. There's a need for this to exist. I just don't think that it's necessarily awesome. But it's a good figure. I like it. So that'll be the review for this time. Thank you guys all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I will see you guys next time for the next one. D-Man out.